Assalamu alaikum class. I hope you all are fine. As you know, nowadays we are doing MCH. Dr. Iram has completed the maternal aspect. Now, this section which I will do, it basically focuses on children and which is the age group of 0 to 14 years, and this is a very important age group. Now, the childhood period is divided into different age groups or age periods. Number one is the infancy, which is up to 1 year of age. It is further divided into two parts: the early neonatal period, which is the first 28 days of life, and number two is your post neonatal period, that is 28 days to 1 year of age. This whole period, early neonatal period and your post neonatal period, is your infancy. Number two is your preschool age, which is between 1 to 4 years of age. Then there is your school age, which is between 5 to 14 years of age. Now we start with the early neonatal care. The early neonatal period, as I told you before, it is the period within the first 28 days of life. Now, early neonatal period is a very crucial period in the life of an infant, and this is because the baby has to adapt itself to the alien environment, and the risk of death is greatest during the first 24 to 48 hours after birth, and the problems are more acute in the rural areas where expert obstetric care is very less. Now, the objectives of early neonatal care are: number one, establishment and maintenance of cardiovascular and respiratory functions of the baby. Number two, to maintain the body temperature of the infant. Number three, to prevent the baby from any sort of infection. Number four, establishment of satisfactory feeding regime. Number five, early detection and treatment of any sort of congenital and acquired disorder, especially infections. Now, when the baby is born, the most immediate measure is the clearance of the airway passage. Now, clearing of the airway passage maintains the cardiorespiratory function. Now, the baby is put in a prone position with the face down, and the back of the baby is thumped so that the baby cries, and the all the secretions, they come into the mouth, and they are just then sucked with the help of a plastic sucker. Or in some of the cases in which there can be prolonged labor, or in some cases there can be hypoxia as well during labor. In these conditions, resuscitation is required, and in resuscitation there can be suction as well. There can be application of certain oxygen mask, or there can be need of intubation or assisted respiration as well. So all the gynae wards, they should be well equipped with the resuscitation equipment, including oxygen as well. Now, if the heart rate of the baby stops beating for more than 5 minutes, the baby is then declared dead. While clearing the airway passage, in certain conditions, resuscitation is required. Now, resuscitation can be required in certain conditions, like fetal distress can occur, which can be due to prolonged labor, and in certain cases, there can be discharge of thick meconium, which can obstruct respiration, or in certain deliveries, like if there is breech presentation, it can also lead to certain fetal distress, and resuscitation is required, or there can be delivery of a preterm baby. Now, all these conditions require resuscitation of newborn. Resuscitation measures, they include suction with the help of a sucker machine, or they can be application of oxygen mask, and oxygen is given directly to the baby, or in certain cases intubation is also done, and assisted respiration is also needed sometimes. Next, in immediate care of the neonate comes your APGAR score. APGAR score is taken soon after birth, and we cannot omit it as it tells us about the physical condition of the baby. Now, in APGAR score, certain observations are made, and they are made very carefully. Certain signs are observed, which are the heart rate, respiration of the baby, muscle tone of the baby, what are the reflexes, what are the responses, and the color of the infant. And then each sign is given a score of 0, 1, or 2. Now, the perfect score is 9 or 10. Now, as you can see in this table, if the heart rate is absent, respiratory effort is not there, muscle tone is flaccid, and reflex response is also not there, and the baby is cyanosed or blue or pale in color, so the APGAR score will be almost 0 to 3. So that is a severely depressed baby. Now, if the heart rate is slow, that is below 100, and the respiratory effort is slow, irregular, the muscle tone is there is some flexion of the extremities, the reflex response is slight or grimace, or the color of the infant is pinkish, and but the extremities are cyanosed. So the total score will be round about 4 to 6. So that is a mild to moderate depressive child. Now, next, if the heart rate is above 100, the respiratory effort is good, and the baby is crying, the muscle tone is good, and the baby is active, and the color of the skin is completely pink. Now, that is a perfectly healthy baby, and there is no depression, and the score is between 7 to 10. So all the babies who score below 5, they need prompt action, and infants with a low APGAR score at 5 minutes of age are subjected to a high risk of complications, and death can occur during the early or the late or the post neonatal period. Now, in the immediate care of neonate, another important point is the clean cutting of the umbilical cord. Now, the umbilical cord should be cut and tied when it has stopped pulsating. This is important that if you cut the cord after the pulsation stops, the baby drives extra 10 ml of blood, which helps in prevention of anemia. Now, cutting of cord is very important, as 3 C's are kept in mind while cutting the cord, and this is asked in your viva as well. Now, 3 C's tells us about that you cut the cord with clean hands, on clean surface, and with the clean instruments. Now, these are the 3 C's: clean hands, clean surface, and clean instrument. Now, when the cord is cut, the stump is put on the cord, and you should only use a spirit swab to clean that surface, and the cord should be out of the pamper as well. Now, after 5 to 8 days, the cord it dries and it shrivels off, and you should not be pulling at the cord. It will just get necrosed and it will fall away. So nothing else except you put a spirit swab on it. Now, in the rural areas, they put sometimes cow dung, or sometimes put some mud on the stump, which can lead to neonatal tetanus. So this is very important to keep in mind while cutting the cord. 3 C's: clean hands, clean surface, and proper cleaned and sterilized instruments should be used while cutting the cord. Next important point in immediate care of the neonate is the maintenance of body temperature of the baby. Now, when the baby is born, it is exposed to an alien environment, and the temperature outside the womb of the mother is more than 10 degrees centigrade, and in winters it can be either up to 20 degrees centigrade. And the normal temperature of the baby is 36.5 to 37.5 degrees centigrade. So the newborn has a very less thermal control and can lose heat quickly, especially 75% of the heat is lost from the head of the baby, because after birth, as the baby is wet because of the amniotic fluid evaporation takes place. So immediately the baby should be cleaned with a cloth and wrapped in warm clothes and or in a warm wrap, and should be given to the mother, or should have a skin to skin contact with the mother, and breastfeeding should be initiated, as it can prevent the baby from getting exposed to external environment. Now, in preterm or premature or the low birth weight babies, one should they are either put into the incubators, as their subcutaneous fat is very less and they lose heat very quickly. So one thing also should be kept in mind, that when the baby is born, it should not be put on a weighing scale or a metallic tray or a rubber sheet, as they are cold, and the baby can be exposed to more temperature and can lead to further complications. Now, soon after birth, as the baby is cleaned and properly wrapped in warm clothes, the eyes should also be cleaned. Now, the eyes are cleaned with sterile wet swabs. The lid margins of the newborns should be cleaned from inner margin to the outer margin. And after that, a drop of freshly prepared silver nitrate solution, which is 1%, is instilled in both the eyes, or if it's not available, a single application of 1% tetracycline ointment should be instilled in the eyes of the baby. Now, any discharge from the eyes of the baby is properly taken care of. Now, there is a condition which is called ophthalmia neonatorum. It is caused by Neisseria gonorrhoeae or trichomitis or staphylococcus and some other Candida species. Now, the most serious causes of conjunctivitis in the newborn is the infection which is caused by the Neisseria gonococcus. Now, it can lead to blindness even. So, these things should be properly checked and should be properly taken care of earlier. Now, if the mother has certain genital tract infection before the delivery, it should be treated during the antenatal period, or if the mother still has that problem during the delivery, the proper specific care should be taken while conducting delivery of the baby. Soon after birth, the baby is usually wet from amniotic fluid and can easily become cold. So the baby is dried with the help of a clean cloth to remove any meconium or blood clots on it. And this is usually done by the nursing staff or the nurses. Now the baby is then wrapped in dry and clean clothes by the nurse to prevent heat loss. And the first bath is given when the temperature stabilization occurs, usually after 1 day. Now, in immediate neonatal care, the other important point is the initiation of breastfeeding. The breastfeeding should be initiated within an hour after birth, And although at that time little milk is excreted, but that milk is very important, which is known as colostrum. And colostrum is very rich in proteins and other nutrients which are required for the body, and it is also rich in anti-infective factors. Now, these anti-infective factors, they protect the baby against certain diarrheal diseases and respiratory infections. Now, the breastfeeding should be initiated, as I told you before, within the hour of given birth, and it should be on demand of the baby. Now, I'm not going to go into the detail of breastfeeding, as you'll have a separate lecture in tutorials about breastfeeding. After taking care of the different things after birth, it is important to conduct the first medical examination, and it is preferably done in the delivery room. Now, the examination is done to see if the baby has suffered certain injuries during the birth process, or if there are any congenital malformations or any sort of problem which needs urgent treatment, and to assess the maturity. And the second examination should be made within 24 hours after the birth or the delivery, and it should be conducted by the pediatrician. Now, the pediatrician, it takes the body size, the body weight is assessed, crown, heel length, head and thoracic perimeters are assessed. Now, the body temperature of the baby is taken, and then the skin is observed, the cardiovascular system and the respiratory system and all the other systems are assessed by the pediatrician. In any sort of abnormality or malformation that need immediate attention is taken. Now, sometimes the newborns, they get infected during the delivery, or they get infection from the mothers. And some of the important infections are, number one is your neonatal tetanus. Now, as I told you when discussing the cutting of the cord during after delivery, that three C's are very important, and because of that, we can prevent neonatal tetanus in the newborn. But it can also be prevented by vaccinating the pregnant females, and zero vaccination of the newborn in case of at-risk delivery. Another important infection is the congenital syphilis. Now, the syphilis can be transmitted from the mother to the baby, and in this case, benzathine penicillin is recommended in the dose 2.4 to 4.8 million units. Now, next important infection is the newborn, which gets infected with hepatitis B positive mother. Now, this is very important, as hepatitis B virus is very common in our country. Now, if the mother is hepatitis B surface antigen positive only, then there are 20% chances that the baby will get this infection. Or if the mother is hepatitis B E antigen positive, then there are 90% chances that the baby will get the infection. Now, the transmission can occur through the blood and the genital secretions, and therefore it affects the newborn during the immediate perinatal period and throughout the infancy. Now, it is not a contraindication of breastfeeding. Now, to prevent the perinatal transmission, an intramuscular injection of 0.5 ml of hepatitis B immunoglobulin is given along with hepatitis B vaccination within 24 hours of the birth. And after that, the vaccine is again repeated according to our EPI schedule at the 6th, 10th, and 14th week of age. Another important infection is the newborn with a hepatitis, AIDS positive mother or HIV positive mother. Now, 30% of the babies born to HIV positive mothers, they get infected, and transmission of infection, it mostly occurs at the end of the pregnancy, and it is not influenced by the type of delivery. So these are the common infections, and I'm not going to go into detail as you have studied these prevention with the respective topics in the communicable diseases.